Hello again, my loves. It turns out I can't bloody well save it whilst we're in the middle of a conversation. So, next episode is continuing forthwith. So anyway, let's carry on. Here we
What
go.
we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, linking? Those are the shipping side of things.
Hmm.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
Hmm. How much money does Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Crikey!
A billion?
What exactly is a billion? Wow, that's it? I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. The money I owe is so much less than that, okay?
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for balance. Apologies, my love.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility. They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Does this make sense to anyone? It certainly doesn't make any sense to me. All of these strange sounding places. Goodness.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Yes. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? Look around suspiciously.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
I want to see your passport again. 8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavour indeed. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. Yes.
We built this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you where the seawall rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about the trade secrets? What is your role in this?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? I will slay it. How do I repeal it then?
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
Hell.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
I don't care.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike? I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Let's talk about that.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Right, so we're not in the harbour. Tell us more about this behemoth. How were the talks going before the lynching?
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his note.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself. That's who we need, by the way, Mr. Clare.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Okay then. Cool. Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive, commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Not hard communist enough for me.
Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker a member of the board.
What exactly do they mean by it, though? What's the demand?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what, about anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings. The king is king. The king is dead. Long live the workers. What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Let's talk about that.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Does it? The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare. That's who we need to talk
The
to.
scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
Tell me about Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that bad? He can't be that bad.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of them? Him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Evrart does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Hell.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Hell. What about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
To get the body down.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Evrart and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, Detective? If I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of local working men. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion. That one.
Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
Hungry bastard leech. What about this fucking lynching? You said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie. It happens. Some kind of extortion, probably. Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Can't wait to meet him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Right.
Of course. How else can I help?
Good lord. Right, there's more about the lynching. We can ask about the tattoo as well. Let's do that.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Goodness.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I had recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. I think I should probably just go, yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm going to go with honesty.
Oh, dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
Better believe it.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Fully paid. Hell of a guy I am.
Of course, I sympathize. but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Fuck me.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
See if we've got any chance. Yes, right, let's do it.
Feelings will guide the way.
Are you fucking kidding me? But madam, I need to know about this lynching. It's very important to me. It's the case I'm solving.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
You don't understand. It's not like a side case for me. This is my main thing. You have so much else. I have only this. Spread your hands. This is the entirety of my existence.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Oh dear. This boat, for example, and a home somewhere. I only have this case.
Officer.
Fuck. Oh, I'm terrible at this. Carbon fiber hull creaks. I don't remember anything except this lynching. There is only this coast and this lynching.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in. Somehow.
It's a fucking miracle.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Like what?
The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
How dare you?
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam. Okay. How do we talk to him? Okay, yes. The hell?
This is not going quite as I hoped it would. Detective.
The lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
I should have won that bloody thing, wasn't it? 80%? What's going on? Oh, so we're henchmen now. Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show. But there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. I'll handle it. What do you propose that we don't investigate the drug trafficking? We could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
Good point.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
Hell.
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
Okay. I guess we've got to say we're going to do it. I don't know.
Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
Am I going to need bolt cutters for this?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Yes, please.
You'll be indebted to her, in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another.
Phew.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
Okay, it's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking to the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue.
Okay, that explains all those vehicles stuck there.
Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Okay.
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, but she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
Okay, proceed. Okay.
Yes?
We will take this case, probe the drivers, see what it yields. There's no way we can take this case. We're going to have to do it.
According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
She takes another long sip from her seemingly bottomless thermal cup of tea. I just had a cup of tea, actually. You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities.
Yes, so?
Now look at you. You misery-clad simian. Barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Ashamed? I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough, as I should be for even considering it. This is a woman, and I am a man. This I should make my own goddamn money. Yes, I should make my own goddamn money by now. Yeah, I don't want to...
Maybe you could ask her for some stock tips. That's a maybe. Or a job. But you're sure as hell too ashamed to ask for cash, buddy. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
I'm definitely not doing that.
Of course,
Okay.
Detective. Take care.
Can I have a sip of your tea, wench? Okay, so... Bloody hell, that was a long-winded way of getting a new mission, but there we are. Yet another mission added to the list of missions we are not completing. And we still haven't got that fucking body down. Right, dare we talk to another person? Let's do it.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing
God.
down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the
The
pier.
streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
I want to see your passport. We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive. Don't use that tone with me. I am the law. Let's start with your blood type and go from there. Hep? Yeah, when were you last tested?
Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
Despite the attitude, she puts the brush aside.
She's grown frustrated with her work and welcomes the opportunity to challenge authority in other ways.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at? What are you doing to the wall? Do you know anything about recent murder?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit.
Looks shit.
I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
She studies the wall, suddenly pensive. So you don't know what to write? Why are you so committed to defacing the building? I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to have to stop you. This is hooliganism. Actually, I don't have an opinion. I lied.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
Saki cow.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Well, that's a good thing.
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief.
She turns her head to face the coast and nods disdainfully towards Joyce performing maintenance on her boat.
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
You mean Joyce?
On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
Hold on, what's a zone? A zone? Why all the negativity? Yeah, I don't like her either.
Pig's not half as dumb as he looks.
She gives you a stately nod of approval. Yes.
I ain't no snitch,
Ah.
Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, There is a shortage of people who can talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
Well put, Kim.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
By the way, your mural is a fucking disgrace. See you later. Right, is this where we came? Or is this another area? Oh, it's the body. Oh no, it's that little shitting scrote. Tempted to give him a damn good thrashing. A garden hose. This won't be of use until the snow melts. Oh, fucking hell, there's another bloke up there. A balcony with a view to the yard.
Hey, what's that
and
noise down there?
hanging. Couple of strapping young police officers. Mind your own business. Fuck off. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Another splattering of bullet holes on this wall. It's good to peruse all of these. Hello, what's this?
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier.
Examine closer. These bullet holes look like the bullet holes we saw before.
You peer into the faded marks in the stone. They peer back like an endless row of tiny black holes. Sweat starts trickling down your brow.
This could be all the bullet holes in a row. Perhaps people were shot here.
This is bad mojo, man! Fucking horrible mojo! The end draws near!
Oh dear, the necktie's off.
Your chest feels tight looking at them. It's closing in, caving in, ever tighter. Your breathing grows even heavier.
Oh my god, I'll be dead within the next couple of hours at this rate.
You okay there?
The lieutenant's sudden voice cut like a blade, bringing you out of the stupor. Breathe out sharply. Yeah, I'm fine. Man, I started feeling really bad for a
Might
second.
be the after effects of your past escapades. What are you looking at? Bullet holes generally look the same, so probably. But you're right. More old bullet holes from the revolution. Plenty.
Okay, that was wonderful, wasn't it? We've just lost more health. It's just bloody wonderful. Hello, what's all this? Okay, got some orange bum hat. Want a piece of that. Where's my hat? There it is. It's increased our reaction speed, but diminished our rhetoric. Okay, I don't know what else we got. I don't really care at the moment. Got stairs leading down to a door. These barrels are half full of rainwater. The smoker up there could be a witness. Talk to him. In my own time, if you please. Okay, no information, but it is a locked door. We have to talk to this bloody bloke over here now. I'll try this door first. Oh, it's raining.
There must be another way into the building.
Quit.
What the hell? Why was that so loud? Let's try that again. His voice was extremely loud then. Okay. Let's talk to the smoker. Might be able to give us a cigarette.
Hey, what's that noise down there?
Hey.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
He says in a quiet voice. Despite the cold, his shirt hangs unbuttoned on his frame. Why are you whispering? It sounds like you're already in trouble. No trouble from me. I just want to know what's going on here. Too late, young man. Trouble's found you.
There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a lowered voice.
He says, sotto voce.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare.
Hmm.
Apologies, but this is my last one.
You fucking liar.
The god himself has denied you absolution.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Shut up and throw it, kid. You're right. That was obviously a bad idea. Forget I said anything.
I'm not throwing anything.
There's no way you'd catch that cigarette anyway.
What, really?
Yes, really. Don't even try. You'll just embarrass yourself.
As you wish.
Takes another drag.
Is it really that important?
He asks you, adjusting his shirt.
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Something tells me that cigarette will not quit. Can you tell me your name? Looks like you've got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
My
Name first.
My name is Martin Martinez.
Nice name.
Martin Martinez? Good local name. Let's go with that.
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
At the current rate of progress, perhaps next year?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You had asked me that, didn't you?
Did I? Did you? Look at Kim. Pretty sure I didn't.
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
The lieutenant takes out his little blue notebook and writes something down.
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He looks around the courtyard again. Rain patters on the windowsills and dead houseplants. Too late to do them any good.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
Smoking a cigarette, no doubt.
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend. How intriguing. Makes sense. Friends are nice on Sunday. You don't have to work. You can just spend time with pals, watching rugby and drinking beer.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, the neighboring windows are streaked with rain.
Right.
No,
Oh,
we won't.
he takes one last drag of his cigarette before stubbing it out on the
Now,
balcony.
if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Convince him to stay. Okay. Ugh. Pray for me.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains.
Hey, listen. Lower your voice. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet again somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes, compassion and a hint of understanding.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
His voice is soft and deliberate. With a flick of his wrist, he sends the cigarette butt sailing over the rail and into your mouth.
But, hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He walks away. Thank you. Oh, he's off. Okay, isn't this
It's gone.
supposed... Okay. We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
So we just give up? You're right, he probably didn't have anything important to say anyway.
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there.
The lieutenant nods towards a small rock on a soggy patch of grass.
If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
Great, let's do that. Right, apparently there's a fucking stone. Oh, there it is.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it. There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments, and the man can be in any of them.
How are we going to find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Put the stone back. Okay. Okay, we've got a key now. You should be able to open this door. Right, my loves. Right, new place. Can you believe it? We're making progress. Right, I'm going to leave it here, and but I will be back soon to explore these apartments. I can see Marie written on the door ahead of us. Anyway, right, cheers for watching, if you have been, and I'll see you soon. Cheerio.